on. I know myself and I know what I want. October, baby, you know what I'm on. YSL, baby, I'm East Let Laurent. Hey, whoa, Northside rider, DM slider, family and friends provider. Well, yes, on him, that ass too slim. I need that shit a little wider.
Oh, welcome back to the YouTube. So we are going balls deep into off-season, rebounding out of a show, which is something I've never done before. So if you're not familiar with the rebound, it's basically, am I healthy enough to keep PEDs at a higher dosage to make the most of increased calories and increased training output out the back of a prep, i.e. removing orals and things that are more hepatotoxic to the liver, changing your stat design for something that, you know, doesn't trash us from the inside out, basically. From then, you maybe extend to one training block. Maybe it's a 4 to 6 week training block of making the absolute most of higher PDs, higher food, whilst we gain a healthy amount of body fat at the same time to improve better sleep, better libido, better brain function, better performance in the gym, fullness returning, and just feeling overall like a human again, whilst maximizing just how efficient we can uptake nutrients, just how efficient we can adapt to training stimulus, even at a lower volumes. We'll notice in this training block going forward, my training volumes are still really, really low. We're not escalating it like crazy like we usually do, because why do we need to? I've been on my arse training for the last 8 weeks of prep, very, very minimum effective volume, nowhere near failure. So any form of stimulus from a completely new, exciting as well, training block, it's going to be some crazy novel stimulus. I've been getting some DOMs, man. I've been getting some savage pumps, as you can imagine, some savage DOMs, and everything is absolutely flying in the gym. So 101 of the rebound done. I will be having a health phase after this because it's been a long prep. However, we're going to run this for 4 to 5 to 6 weeks. I actually then go on holiday to Thailand for 2 weeks. So it's a perfect opportunity to return to baseline everything. Return to baseline training, have a break from training over the course of a deload whilst I'm in Thailand. I'll probably get a few gym sessions in the second week just to make some form of a return to training. PDs will obviously be brought down to the bare minimum needed, along with just keeping stress low, getting some blood work done at the earliest opportunity possible. Guys, you don't want to be just getting blood work done when you've been cruising for 4 to 6 weeks. Everyone's fucking blood work looks great at 4 to 6 weeks. A better idea would be at peak blast. Now, is it a good idea for me to do this at peak blast in a peak week or around peak weeks? Definitely not, as we're doing some fluid manipulations, some diuretic protocols that are obviously going to very acutely, but somewhat possibly quite drastically skew some readings, i.e. liver, kidneys, things like this. So that is something we kind of want to get out of the way before we do blood work. Even if you are on a higher dose of anabolics, you want to make sure that it's at least a consistent run of what you have been doing, because blood work is only a snapshot in time of what is happening in the blood at that specific time. So there's all the important education shit out of the way. We are going through my favorite session of the new training block, which is fucking density day, bro. So we're doing a posterior chain focus block. I have pull Monday, quad focused leg session Tuesday, a push day on a Wednesday, rest Thursdays, and then Friday is my posterior day. So that includes a line ham curl, an RDL, a chest supported T-bar row, a unilateral lat focus row with some disgusting intensifiers. You'll see them all in there. Lots of length and partial work throughout this block. And then to finish, and I actually forgot this was in the plan the first time I did it and nearly cried and went home, is length and partials on a unilateral leg press, as well as a rep match. So if you're not familiar with a rep match, the first set is your target weight and your target reps. Say 200 kilos on the leg press, and I get 18 reps. Every set after that has to be the same weight, and you have to get the same reps as set one. And this can be done across all muscle groups, and it's very effective for bringing up smaller, weaker areas, i.e. arms, delts, lats, things like this. So you can imagine my heartbreak when I had RDL, hamstring curled, chest supported T-bar row that first week back, absolutely battered, and realized I had to do rep match sets on the leg press. But I've absolutely fucking loved this session. And then we just finished with adductor because mine are non-existent. So I'm gonna eat meal 2. It's almost 10 o'clock. Finish my client check-ins and then head over to the gym probably about 12:30. This is, again, key coming out of a post-show diet or any kind of diet, especially when it's winter. It's literally dark when we get up. dark when we come home from work, and it is shit. I'm one of the plebs that cannot cope without sunshine 24/7. So a massive thing is keeping routine. That means I get up at 6 a.m. still. I go out and I do 5k fasted steps. My step count is still 12,000. And I have a solid routine of what I'm going to do in my day, especially working for ourselves, especially if we're an online coach. How easy is it to become complacent? And I don't just mean complacent in your work, but it has such a knock-on effect if you're not getting up till 7:30 till the sun comes up, and then you're not getting your steps in, you're not actually being active, getting some serotonin whilst you're walking, being productive, getting back to client messages, etc. You're already on the back foot when it comes to your day. And when you're on the back foot when it comes to your day, you then tend to knock things lower down the list or into tomorrow's list. So being productive is definitely number one, and has actually helped keep me very, very motivated going through into this winter hellhole. Going to Thailand in 2 or 3 weeks definitely helps as well, knowing I'm getting some form of sunlight and a break before the long night going into January, February. But let's get to it. Meal 2, check-ins, go train. Alrighty then, big man. Thank you for your check-in today, mate. First of all, some head wobbles to combat, I feel. However, we are, like, don't get me wrong, we are definitely not in a soft position. We needed to put on a healthy amount of body fat post-show. You just look blasting full, and I'm impressed and very, very happy that we've had some big performance increases in the gym. If someone is pretty sleep deprived, we are very, very, well, way more likely to binge eat or overeat or eat for poor food choices, and quite often it will be that thing of, I'm actually that shattered because I've had 3 hours sleep. Do I want to prep all my food? No. Okay, I'm going to eat this chocolate bar. So just something to just help with you, mate, more than anything. A very, very productive training block. But we're growing, baby, and that's what we want to do. The arms look great, the delts look great, the back looks great, the hams, the glutes look great. Who else in off-season has glutes this sharp? We just can see we've accumulated some fat across the stomach, so don't panic, big man. Hope everything is good with you, bro. As always, anything you need, let me know. No doubt we'll text each other all day anyway, and I'll catch you in a bit. Tell you what I have been using that's been fantastic. The RP Hypertrophy app, where you'll input your whole training block, your whole meso, sets, intensifiers, everything. And then actually log what you've done, take feedback on soreness, pump, everything, and give you recommended increments on progress going throughout the week to week. So for instance, it's actually recommended here that I've added 5 pounds to the line hand and given me a certain rep target to hit, and it's been fantastic actually. How accurate the predictions are have been amazing. RDLs after this, it's added 5 kilo to my RDL, I think for the same amount of reps, for 8 reps. So we'll see how we get on, but 3 weeks into this, and it's been a game changer just to log everything without even needing to log a thing, without needing to use a logbook. You just go in, try and hit the reps it says. If you don't, you give it feedback like overlapping soreness, weight was a little bit too much, it'll amend what it predicts for you to hit, and it's just been game changing. It's the app man, the RPR. It's like, yeah, you gotta put 150 this week. Okay, sound. Cheers. 150 is pussy weight, I am aware. Third week in, all movements are 1 RIR. Next week is where we'll get fried and see some regression. Length and partials on this VR3 lat focus row, doing unilaterally, so we're literally not even worried about getting the lat fully short. We gave the back pretty much a hell of a lot of hammering. The data shows more hypertrophy training in length and range, and the same amount of hypertrophy just partially training the length and range, so very, very efficacious for not only growth but mind muscle connection in the length and range. A lot of people struggle to connect with the back. Doing partials where you're fully stretched, pause, engage the lat from that elbow, from that lengthened position can really, really help. And these are fucking brutal. My CNS. And this is the point last week, or the first week, where I almost went home in tears. Done fried myself. Length and partials, again. Bottom end of the rep range. Almost like a split squat. Big batty season. And it's a rest pause. Fuck my life. So a quick update of where I'm at currently. We are 3 weeks on Sunday, so 3 weeks in 2 days post show. 21 pounds up and still in great condition. Like I said, the rebound is something that I've never done before. I'm having a hell of a lot of fun doing it. So my surprise has been no cankles, been no ridiculous water weight from that initial flux post show from like fluid manipulation, diuresis protocols, things like that. But this is the most fun I've ever had bodybuilding in my life, and long may it continue, because we've got 15 pounds of stage weight to put on. It's a no mean feat, that. So I don't know when I'm going to get back on stage. As I said at the end of many of my videos, my focus is to get dense, hence the density day, posterior day, train pull twice a week, etc., just to look thicker all through the posterior chain, adductors, side leg, everything. Look like a man, basically. And also, I've got a little Q&A for you. So I put a questions box up on my Instagram. So I'm going to reel off a few of these before my consults this evening. I've got a consult at 3:30 in about half an hour, and another one about 5:30. Coaching is lighting up, and you love to see it. First question from my client, Holly Ma. What's your long-term goal? Business and bodybuilding. Long-term as in 5 years, where I'll be almost 35. I need to have turned professional by then. I say I need to, I'll still be bodybuilding. If I'm not, we'd just be doing it for the fun of it, man. We'd do this because we love doing it. If Instagram weren't here, we'd still be bodybuilding, we'd still be trying to get massive. So I would like a good crack at the pro card, and I aim to take it within the next time I compete, whether that's in 2 years' time or however long. We're not getting back on stage until we're struggling to make the cap, to give me the best opportunity, because I've already got the lines, I've already got the presentation, I can already get in condition. When you're filling the cap, it's just a chance of knocking on the door until your opportunity comes. In business, I fucking love coaching. I love coaching. And to be honest, doing it to a level where I've been doing this for years, right? However, only full time for about 1.5 years. I'd love to get to the point where you are a very well respected name in the industry, where your name attracts the kind of serious clients that have serious goals. Not that everybody's goal isn't serious, but it attracts high caliber goals that require a lot more intricate attention to do with PEDs, hormones, regulating fatigue through a prep. I love all that intricacy, and that is, to be honest, where I shine as a coach, the latter end of prep, peaking somebody for a show, things like this. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love, there's saying that competitors love being drama queens a lot of the time, and sometimes, or a lot of the time, having a client that is a Gen Pop client, that you've changed their life because they just feel so good about themselves and can go on the beach wearing no shirt for the first time in years. Things like that, things about their personal life, their married life and everything, that shines through so damn much, because you know that means something to somebody, because they've never been in a point where they've got on stage, where it's like almost trivial, right? But as bodybuilders, we kind of blow it up. I love when you've changed someone's life like that. But I think in 5 years' time, to be a very well-renowned coach that attracts the caliber of athletes where I can see through to a greater detail. And I suppose with posing, because posing is the thing that I'm known for, rather than posing clients, I love the grassroots of it, and I love teaching people, again, the same as I do with coaching, but having a point where I can put on big seminars and that be the focus, almost like a posing school that's on regularly throughout the year, every month or 2 months, especially through a competitive season. A question from Irish Aaron. How much primo is too much primo? Now, the obvious answer is you can never have too much primo. However, I would suggest, on a logical sense, the point at which you start to see negative side effects, i.e. loss of appetite, i.e. blood work looking skewed, i.e. blood pressure too high, i.e. you've been on cycle for 6 months straight and need a pullback. But other than that, primo is the GOAT if you're going to add it to your stack. We should always run testosterone as high as we can handle. Testosterone will convert to estrogen. We want estrogen as high as we can handle because it's anabolic, it's cardiac protective, it's neuroprotective for the brain, it's good for fat loss. So anti-E's are a no-go. Running tests as high as we can, and then you make the rest of it up with primo. God's amber nectar. What are the travel plans for Thailand? So I land in Bangkok. I'm in Bangkok for 2 nights. I then travel to Koh Samui for 2 nights. Then Krabi for 3 nights, I believe, where we want to see the national park. And then I think I've got 4 or 5 nights in Phuket before going back to Bangkok to return home. So I'm very excited. Any recommendations for anybody that lives in Thailand or has visited Thailand, please let me know, because I have no clue. Jay-Z Bodybuilding from Birmingham, Ting. If you could live in one movie / series universe, what would it be? What would you do? Now, I'm not really a superhero movie kind of guy. Last Kingdom. Before they ruined Last Kingdom with the film, man. If you ever watched Last Kingdom, 7 Kings Must Die on Netflix, and they have butchered Uhtred's good name, I'd definitely be Uhtred because he's an absolute goat and living in the Viking era. I'm not actually like a massive Viking fucking nerd, but if you haven't watched Last Kingdom on Netflix, get to know. What was the first drug stat you ever ran? From Coach Kirkham. The first I ever ran, I was way too young at 19, and I was scared of injectables like an idiot. And I ran a D-bol only cycle. And I think I actually put about 12 pounds on, and that initial androgen influx where you first experience it, I think I was training like twice a day, training shoulders and traps like twice a day some days. Hence why I don't really need to touch delts anymore, probably. Coach Kirkham again. 3 highlights of your competitive season this year. Now, number 1 was definitely getting into the overall with Big Daddy, Coach Kirkham. That will forever stay with me. It was amazing. Number 2 was winning the Birmingham show in that same show, I guess. And then number 3 was competing in France, because it was such a crazy class experience. It was actually just like a mini holiday with me, Joe and Jazz. Just jumping in a show in the middle of a city break. It was so good. And finally, we have Mr. Leon Pierce. What was your favourite look from the season just gone? It's got to be France, man. It's got to be France. I don't know whether it was that first time seeing that ridiculous carb load, that ridiculous reaction, the Medform rapid load the night before. Dry as an absolute Gandhi's flip-flop backstage and on stage. The condition was there, the fullness was there. It was just, it could not have been peaked better. And with JJ there, with me in person, Joe, my coach, to oversee every second of it and to just enjoy every moment with him, it's got to be that, man. It's got to be that. Such a look. I enjoyed everything. I enjoyed every look of this season, to be honest. But that one I found we absolutely nailed it. And that's all she wrote. So a bit of bullshit from me, a bit of training. Hopefully you took something away. Hopefully you enjoyed this video again and it's not a bag of dicks. Keep on commenting, keep on liking, keep on subscribing. Tell your friends, tell your mom, tell everybody. Thank you very much. If you've got any more suggestions what you want to see on my channel, Q&As, more full days of eating, more training, explain the stuff a bit more in depth to do with PDs or training or nutrition, comment below and let me know.